In 1821, on a tiny, windswept island in the middle of the Atlantic, the most powerful man Europe had ever known died slowly in a damp little house. He was just 51 years old. The official cause was stomach cancer, but for more than 200 years, one question has refused to die. Was Napoleon Bonaparte murdered? Only 6 years earlier, Napoleon had ruled most of Europe. Then came his final defeat at Waterloo. And this time, the British took no chances. They sent him to Saint Helena, a remote volcanic rock more than 1,000 miles from the nearest coast, one of the most isolated places on Earth. There he was placed under the watch of a strict British governor named Hudson Lowe. The two men despised each other. Lowe controlled his every move, his letters, his visitors, even his title. The emperor, who once commanded armies, now argued over candles and firewood in a cold, leaking house called Longwood. And slowly, Napoleon began to fall apart. He complained of stomach pain, crushing fatigue, swings in his weight, days when he could barely leave his bed. His small circle of loyal followers watched him fade, and Napoleon himself grew certain of something dark. He believed his captors wanted him dead, that they were finishing him off, quietly, far from the eyes of the world. On the 5th of May, 1821, he died. A team of doctors opened his body and found a stomach ravaged by cancer, the same disease that had killed his own father. Case closed, or so it seemed. Because more than a century later, a Swedish scientist named Sten Forsjövud became obsessed with Napoleon's final days. He read the diaries of the men who were there, and the symptoms they described didn't sound like cancer to him. They sounded like poison. So he did something remarkable. Napoleon's followers had saved locks of his hair, a common keepsake at the time. Forsjövud got hold of some and had it tested in a laboratory. The results were stunning. The hair contained high levels of arsenic. Arsenic was the perfect murder weapon of the age, slow, tasteless, and easily mistaken for a long, natural illness. Suddenly, the theory had a name attached to it. Suspicion fell on one of Napoleon's own companions, a man named Montholon, who had stayed loyally by his side and who controlled the emperor's wine. Some believed he had been poisoning Napoleon for years, drop by drop. It was a story made for legend, the fallen emperor, betrayed by a friend. But then, the theory began to crack. Because in the 1800s, arsenic wasn't rare at all. It was everywhere, in medicines, in paint, and especially in a popular green dye used to color wallpaper. And when investigators tracked down a scrap of the actual wallpaper from Longwood House, they found it. That bright green pattern was loaded with arsenic. In a hot, damp room, mold growing on that wallpaper could turn the arsenic into a poisonous gas, seeping into the air night after night. Napoleon may not have been poisoned by an enemy at all. He may have been slowly poisoned by his own bedroom walls. And there was one more problem. When scientists tested hair from earlier in his life, years before Saint Helena, when no one had any reason to kill him, they found high arsenic there, too. His body had been soaked in it for most of his life, just like so many people of his time. So which was it? A murder by someone he trusted, a slow death breathed in from his own wallpaper, or simply the same stomach cancer that killed his father before him? Most experts today lean toward the cancer, but the arsenic has never been fully explained, and so the argument goes on, in books, in laboratories, in documentaries, 200 years later. The truth died with him on that lonely island in the sea. Napoleon Bonaparte conquered nearly all of Europe. He crowned himself emperor. He reshaped the modern world. But the mystery of how he died has outlived his entire empire.